Closure, I recorded this video before the news of Natasha Howard reportedly agreeing to sign with the Indiana Fever. And it's funny because you'll see when I start talking about the Fever, you'll see that I'm saying, like, I don't think they need much. They just need like another solid big to complement, Aaliyah Boston down low. And it looks like Indiana Fever had my phone tapped because that's exactly what they did. So there will be no mention later on when I'm talking about Indiana Fever of Natasha Howard signing because, like I said, I recorded it before I found out the news. But yeah, Fever went along ahead and did exactly what I thought they should do, and they signed a great veteran big, former Defensive Player of the Year, former All-Star, and yeah, man. So when I talk about that later in the video, she won't be mentioned, but just note that I am aware that Natasha Howard has signed with the Indiana Fever. But yeah, I'll let you guys watch the rest of the video. Peace. What is good, everybody? It's your boy First Degree back at y'all with another video. And look, WNBA free agency. We've been about a week in. Nothing, obviously is official yet because we haven't hit February 1st, but we've had a lot of big moves happening. We've had trades, we've had signings, and we have rumors. So without further ado, man, let's get to talking about that. But before we do, if you've been liking the channel, if you've been liking the videos, make sure you don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any more updates. And just keep going on with the journey with me. We're trying to grow the channel. We're almost at 500. And after that, we're trying to, go to the next step, journey to 1,000. So, yeah, let's get to that. But without further ado, let's talk about this WNBA free agency. The biggest news by far was the three-way trade involving the Seattle Storm, the Los Angeles Sparks, and the Las Vegas Aces. So to get into that, the number 2 pick, which was previously owned by the Los Angeles Sparks, will be going to the Seattle Storm. That is the number 2 pick for the 2025 WNBA draft, along with center Lee Yuru from the Sparks and a 2026 first round Las Vegas Aces pick. So Seattle Storm really hauled up on some picks, especially to be able to build foundation for the future, and they get a solid decent center from the Los Angeles Sparks. I remember watching Lee Yuru in some games last year, and she's a solid pickup, solid player, and she could provide a solid presence down low for the Storm. So I mean, they made pretty well with this pick. They're gonna have great picks for this year's draft, and a solid first round pick for the year after. Along with that, we got the Los Angeles Sparks getting in a blockbuster turn of events, Kelsey Plum, the number 9 2025 pick from Seattle. So they lose their second round pick, but they are still getting the 9th pick, getting a great player in Kelsey Plum, a great shooting guard, 2-time WNBA champion, one of the pivotal pieces in that Las Vegas Aces big time run. And yeah, man, it's gonna be weird seeing her not in the Aces jersey, not with her original core team with her, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, and Asia Wilson. But it's gonna be interesting to see what she does with the Sparks. Now joining former teammate De'Erica Hamby and young upstarts, young rookies, well, not rookies anymore, will be sophomores next year, and Rakia Jackson and Cameron Brink. So, man, the Sparks, they look like they're trying to make something happen with their team fairly quickly. Apparently, they were not really sold on, who they could be getting in the draft this year, as they made a play for Kelsey Plum, man, and it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see how that works out. Next up, last but certainly not least, Las Vegas Aces receive Jewel Lloyd in the number 13 pick from the LA Sparks of this year's upcoming 2025 WNBA draft. And man, I got to say, that is a huge pickup. I mean, you're losing Kelsey Plum, which is a big part of your scoring. She had a pretty down year this year. Didn't play her best, but still averaged about 18 points per game, which is around her regular average. But you're getting Jewel Lloyd, man. Jewel Lloyd, who the year before was the leading scorer, joining this past season's leading scorer in Asia Wilson, and it's just going to provide an entirely different dynamic to the squad. You have 2 very solid certified buckets on the team. Obviously, you have the best player in the world, in my opinion, the MVP, Asia Wilson. Now you got Jewel Lloyd joining her, one of the best scorers in the league. Yeah, man, it's going to be huge. team with the point guard, Chelsea Gray, and they still got Jackie Young over there. And, they still retain a pick for this year's draft. Yeah, man, Aces, they weren't in rebuild mode. They were in reload mode. They're looking to make another big run at the championship. And there is news that they may be trying to acquire Cheyenne Parker-Tyus, which will be another huge pickup if they're able to get her. And we can talk about that a little later in a separate video. But yeah, that would be huge as well. But if as of now, Jewel Lloyd coming to the Aces, man. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. But that's not all. That's not all. Free agency has been working, has been moving. So let's look at what else has been going on in free agency. So the news is that Alyssa Thomas is set to be traded to Phoenix Mercury, which is huge. I mean, the Sun looks like they're just blowing the whole team up. We had some more news that happened today, but yeah, as of right now, it looks like Alyssa Thomas will be in a trade package, which includes her and Ty Harris going to the Phoenix Mercury, along with Natasha Cloud and Rebecca Allen, and the number 12 pick of the 2025 draft from the Mercury will be going to the Connecticut Sun. This is huge. This is huge. I mean, Natasha Cloud was only with the Mercury for, I believe, 1 year. Alyssa Thomas going there, teaming with Kalia Copper. Jury's still out on the future for Diana Taurasi. And Brittany Griner will no longer be with the Mercury, and we'll be talking about where she is at in a little bit. But yeah, man, Alyssa Thomas teaming with Kalia Copper, I think that's a perfect teammate for Kalia Copper. Because Alyssa Thomas kind of sort of has that game similar to Candace Parker, who Kalia Copper was able to win a championship with, where she had that point forward, type of abilities. Not the best three-point shooter like Candace Parker was a very solid three-point shooter, but Alyssa Thomas, she can pass the ball, she can get you buckets, and she's a triple-double machine herself. So I think that's a perfect person to pair with Kalia Copper, especially you don't know the status of Brittany Griner leaving, so you have another big, you have another good forward down low that can help you out. And we still, like I said, we still don't know what's happening with Diana Taurasi. So Phoenix Mercury making a big splash. And with that happening, we know Wnba Bonner is a free agent. It's likely that they'll be able to convince her to sign, which would put them in my perspective right back in contention and make them an instant contender for going at a shot with the title. You got former champion in Kalia Copper teaming with perennial contenders who haven't, Wnba Bonner has won in the past, but that run with the Sun, they weren't quite able to get over that hump and win the championship. So that will be very interesting to see what'll happen. Speaking of Brittany Griner, it seems as though she will be signing with the Atlanta Dream, along with now Brianna Jones from the Connecticut Sun. So not only do you already have Ryan Howard over there, Alicia Gray, you got a lot of talent. Now you're getting a veteran former champion in Brittany Griner, and you're adding another very solid big in Brianna Jones. Like, that's a very good pickup. On paper, Atlanta Dream looked like they could compete for a title this year with those two additions. Those are two big additions to the squad. Like I said, Brittany Griner, one of the best players of her generation these past few years, and Brianna Jones was a big part of the reason why the Sun, were perennial contenders the past couple of years. She's always provided, solid minutes. She can come in and start, bring in some more veteran presence, and then you still got the young talent and Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray over there. So that is big. In other news, the Chicago Sky look to bring back former champion with them, two-time WNBA champion now as of last season, Courtney Vandersloot, and this opens a lot up for the Chicago Sky. That's a pretty big signing, because don't get me wrong, it's not like Courtney Vandersloot coming over and makes them like some type of contender or something. But with the assets that they now have available, they can be pretty flexible about what they want to do come draft night and during free agency. Now, it was said that they also met with Dejanay Carrington, and with the way that the Sun is looking, you could see why Dejanay would probably want out. Now, I do believe Dejanay has been cored, so you may have to do like a type of sign and trade when it comes to her. But if they're able to get a deal where they can get Dejanay Carrington over there, whether it's just being able to sign her or maybe trading the 10th pick, because they do have possession right now of the number 3 overall pick and the 10th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft For me personally, I don't think Dejanay Carrington is worth the third pick, but the 10th pick, that might be something you want to consider because Dejanay Carrington, she's a solid shooting guard, decent scorer. She doesn't average anything high, but she's had explosive nights where she dropped 20 a game, not a game, but 20 points in a game, and she's solid. She gets you about 10 points per game. She's a amazing lockdown defender at the guard and wing position. She can guard just about anybody in the league at guard, and she's just tenacious. She's nasty. She's somebody you want on your team. She's not afraid to do the dirty work. She's not afraid to grab rebounds. Like Dejanay Carrington is a great player. So giving up the 10th pick for a talent of that level would not be anything bad. But you can also keep the 10th pick, right? Like I said, with Courtney Vandersloot, you got a veteran point guard now, which means, you can either keep the third pick, and if Olivia Miles falls to you, which may or may not happen depending on what Seattle Storm wants to do with that second pick, you have someone there she can learn from, a veteran to build your point guard of the future, or you can get a Sonia Citron, who's a solid point guard in her own right, more natural at the shooting guard position, but very capable of, bringing the ball up the floor. Great passer, can score the ball. May not seem like it's so much this season because you got so much going on in Notre Dame. They got so much talent. But if you look at the past couple seasons, she was mainly the second option, right? Second, maybe third, because you got Maddie Westbeld there as well. But at the guard position, definitely was the second option. But now that Miles and Hidalgo's there, she's kind of been reverted to a third, sometimes fourth option now with Maddie Westbeld back on the court. But Sonia Citron is very capable of developing into that shooting guard of the future for the Sky. Or, there's been rumors that they might make a play for a big free agent. But, I mean, not free agent, but make a play for a big trade. But it depends who's out there on the market. Like, there was talk of Ariel Atkins. You know what I'm saying? Ariel Atkins for the third pick, not something I would cry about as a Sky fan. She's a solid guard. She can score. She's, a bucket. And she's in her prime right now. She's 28 years old. You'd be getting her probably at the peak of her career. But, you're able to keep that pick too. And like I said, just build on pillars of the future. You already got Angel. You already got Camilla. You got a young core. You can get Dejanay Carrington over there. She's young as well. I believe she's only 26, I want to say. Just turned 26, maybe 27. Maybe even younger than that, honestly. But, she hasn't quite reached her prime yet. Or you could keep that 10th pick right now. Latest draft mocks had Tahina Pao-Pao going to the Sky. She provides a lot of what you need and what you're missing already. You got somebody who's a great three-point shooter. And Tahina Pao-Pao showed this season that she can score at all three levels. And I'm going to be honest, if she wasn't playing for South Carolina, which plays such a much more team-oriented, spreading the ball type of game, I think she'd be averaging close to, if not 20 points per game. She has that skill set. I think she's another player that can really be that shooting guard / point guard of the future. Her and Camilla have chemistry already. They won a championship together. That would be a great pickup. So the Sky have options. Sky are in a good position. That Courtney Vandersloot signing opens up a lot for them, especially considering that they, won't be re-signing Kennedy Carter. That's big. That's huge. That's something that they need. Yeah, man, that's all I got so far from free agency this week. I'm sure a lot of more news will be coming up. But let me know what you guys all think in the comments below about the moves that have been made. Let me know what you think about your team, what you want them to do. Guys, there's still a lot of free agents out there on the market. You got Satu Sabali still out there. Like I said, you got Cheyenne Parker Tyus. You got some free agents. Kelsey Mitchell, forgot to mention, also re-signed with the Indiana Fever. Great move from the Fever. You got a very strong 1-2 punch in Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell at the guard position. You keep building with players like them, Aaliyah Boston. I mean, you got a future contender with a lot of talent. Already made the playoffs this year. I don't even know if I'd say they're a piece away. I definitely think you need another solid big to complement Aaliyah Boston down low. But as far as they just need a little bit more growth, and I think they're almost there. You got a nice young core. I think they're almost there as far as competing for something serious. So Fever doing well to retain Kelsey Mitchell. You got probably, one of the best 1-2 punches in the league at point and shooting guard. So that's a great retaining right there. But yeah, let me know what you guys all think in the comment below. Like I mentioned earlier, if you mess with the video, make sure you like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and yeah, just let me know your thoughts. That's all I got for you guys today, and I'm out. Peace.